Yo, we live. You're now listening to volume 170 of the Bucket Up Podcast. Here with your boy, Ty Doyle, a.k.a. DJ Buttersauce, a.k.a. Ty Lante, a.k.a. your mom calls and consoles me after son's losses. R.I.P. I don't want to talk about it. You're still in this, though. But I'm here, as always, with the homie, the kid JB. What's good?
Thanks for the intro. Yes, it is me, the kid JB. Could have been right last week, aka Mr. Told You So. Not because I'm always right, but when I'm right, gotta remind you that this life is, split and people right or wrong, and I was the guy that was right. So, not always, but that time. Uncle Jesse, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm out here living the best uncle life there is, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here making the babies laugh and not having to change their diapers. And that's why I am Uncle Jesse to the max. But yeah, man, happy to be here. You know what I'm saying? My home base, my outlet to the universe, that is the organic chemistry of the Bucket Up Podcast. And I'm extra excited because, you know what I'm saying, I'm here with my guy, my tethered soul, if you will, the DJ Buttersauce, DJ Butter Dad.
Oh.
But yeah, well, how you doing, man?
That's some wild shit. I'm good, bro. Chilling. Like I said, besides, Suns losing game 5, by the time this comes out, I probably have it out by Monday night or something, or maybe early Tuesday. And so that'll be game 6. So
6.
If y'all don't ever hear from me again, y'all know what happened.
The Suns, for those that are not big on basketball, the Suns have lost 3 in a row after winning 2 confident games off rip. But hey, man, if you got now no vested interest in it, like myself, I will say it's one of the better finals I've seen
in good
in
games.
The last couple of decades.
Hasn't felt good to me as a fan, but no, I get it. In like the last couple games, especially the last two games were close. It feels like the Suns. The last game they should have won. They were just like flubbing it, and in this game they certainly could have won. So it hasn't felt. It's weird that the Bucks have won 3 straight because it hasn't felt like the Bucks are just like clearly the better team at all. So it is what it is. But hopefully they get that win on Tuesday, and then also a win on Thursday. And I'm not like wow. It's like I didn't expect them to be in the finals anyway, so I should be just happy. Like I would have been happy if they'd have made the first round and lost. You know what I mean? Beginning of the season. So
yeah, we talk about emotional composure, emotional growth, and it's funny to see the tables turn a little bit because years ago the Yankees were far into a championship run and they were eliminated. And at that point in time, you were like, yeah, man, it's just a sports team. They kind of is whatever. And now I'm not saying hypocritically speaking. I'm just saying paradoxically.
Now it's like I really have to go through
now
that.
You have the vested it. Yeah. And now here it's like, bro, and, not to go on a tangent or rant, I think it's a little bit more significant for somebody that's been rooting for a team through the bad times. And now they've arrived here at the good times. So it's even more emotionally draining. But like you said, man, who knows how you'll be. Sounds like you're doing all right.
Yeah, I wasn't all right yesterday. I was pretty down. It was just like, and I get mad at myself because I'm like, there's no reason. It's just basketball. There's reason to be actually like, none of this like.
You can't control it.
I can't control it. None of it actually affects my life. But obviously, none of my teams are usually good. So it's like, I'm so used to like them sucking. And so like, you get that glimpse of hope. I think, was it a couple years ago, the Mets were in the World Series, but I'm gonna be real. I at no point thought the Mets were gonna win, because it's the Mets. Until the Mets actually win the World Series and like they got the parade going. That's when I'll be like, oh shit, they won. You know what I mean? I'm never gonna just expecting them to let me down. So I don't. You know what I mean? But, with the...
And, living in the city, living in Phoenix and stuff like that, for those buckets outside of Arizona, like, there is obviously the community hype that the Suns are in the finals and stuff like that.
Every round there's been more and more fans come out, which, again, I tweeted, I think I put it on Facebook.
That's going to happen, though.
Yeah, I put it on Facebook. Like, I'm cool with it, man. That's part of the process. A team getting good, people, who didn't pay attention, they're going to pay attention now because... You know what I'm saying? I don't blame people for not wanting to watch when the team was getting smoked by 40 on opening night to fucking the Mavs and shit or whatever the hell. Like I get that. Like I didn't want to watch it too. I just watched it because I don't know. I like pain. You know what I'm saying? So I don't. You know what I mean? I'm not really faulting people for like dipping in and out the last 10 years. But like I'm sure there's people who like they don't care about the Suns at all, and they're like hopping in. But that's what you get when you win, baby. So I can't, I gotta welcome that, the bandwagon.
And hey, not to shift this too drastically, but on the tip of sports affecting people, I'm gonna bring it a little darker. And did you hear about the possible mass shooting at the Washington baseball stadium?
Yeah, you got way darker, not little. Not a little.
I wanted to bring attention to this, man, because, I think on record we know where I stand about guns and stuff. Mm-hmm. And you know where I stand about baseball. And those things couldn't mix more. Opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't bring that to my fucking baseball yard. You know what I'm saying?
I would prefer if they didn't bring it to anywhere, but yeah, I get you.
Right. Nah, but my point being, man, it was scary for the Buckets also not familiar with sports or what happened. Dodgers. I'm sorry, not Dodgers.
Yeah, you got to fill me in completely because I saw at this point as an American, like I think a lot of us, you see a mass shooting, we're all kind of dead inside about it. And so it's like you see it and you kind of got to like push through your day. So I saw it, was like, what the fuck? And then I kind of moved on my day. I didn't even like dive into what actually happened.
So, okay. Bring it to the sports world, baseball wise, there's been walking on eggshells, if you will, with COVID because there's been positive tests left and right. Mm-hmm. So they've been having issues with having to postpone games because now stadiums are opened up, right? Mm-hmm. Without getting too politically, deep, I also thought they did that a little too fast. The ramp up kind of went from 0 to 60, but that's a different.
Yeah, it was dumb.
So now the threat now is the players on top of fans, right? And you don't know who's vaccinated, who's not. Another side story. Not getting into that either. But that being said, that's been the threat of large gatherings recently, right? Mm-hmm. The COVID spread. And like Chappelle the God, we got to quote him, talked about, said, like, before COVID, do you guys remember everything? It was a shooting like every other week, right? And what sadly is that was the fear this time around. So somebody had a gun and there were shots reported outside the stadium. It was scary because on YouTube they have the clips. You could hear the gunshots like while the pitcher's winding up and the game's going on and stuff. And then eventually people start scattering, boom, boom, boom. And then they find out the gunman's outside the stadium. So they implore people to stay inside the stadium. And I do want to give shouts. And this is, where people get bad reps with their athletic careers, but off the field, they don't really get a chance to shine. But shouts to Fernando Tatis Jr. and Manny Machado, who's got a really bad rep in baseball. Those guys actually opened the dugout so fans could hide in the dugout for shelter.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so fans and everybody were just hiding out, blah, blah, blah. And I don't know the detail on the gunman and all that stuff, but it just further it's frustrating, man, because I don't think it's hard to twist what I say. I say you could have the right to own a gun and keep it at your house, but anybody at that baseball game, nobody was breaking into somebody's home, so that person shouldn't have that gun near these people.
Yeah,
that's my argument, and I don't see how you could be arguing against that. You know what I'm saying? These people came to a baseball game. You would be out of pocket if you had a baseball bat. You're not playing.
Yeah.
So why the fuck do you need a gun, bro? So, again, miss me with the defending argument. What are you defending? Fly balls? Bring a glove, you know? So, that's what happened, bro. And it made me upset because the ultimate threat the original threat was COVID, right? But now we got to fear crazy people on top of a crazy virus.
Oh,
right?
Well, yeah. All the stuff, all the things coming back. I will say, it's probably just hasn't happened in terms of the news hasn't showed us one, or we haven't gotten video of one, but it's you know what I'm saying? With COVID being it's not over, obviously, the shit's going back up. Shout out to the Delta variant fucking everybody up who decided not to get vaccinated. Is
that not a redundant term, by the way? Delta variant. Delta means to change, and variant also means to change.
I thought it was, but I think they were just calling it Delta because it's the fourth variant, D. I have no clue though.
Oh, I just thought to change the Delta.
Maybe I don't know. I'm assuming that's what it is. Because I think I'm pretty sure there were 3 other variants before, but.
Shouts to tangent real quick. Shouts to Noah, fellow bucket and guest and homie. He was traveling back home. He was doing some shows in New York, but then their flights got canceled because of the weather and shit. And he was jam packed in the airport. And he said he was like Snapchatting all the people, and he said, "Yo, we're all here to see Delta variant live."
That's funny, bro. That's fun. It's funny though because I feel like the airport is one of the places I actually felt safe in terms of because it's like everybody they make sure everybody has to wear a mask. Like there's no like that's the only place where it's still like for January.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's still January at the airports because they're not letting motherfuckers fly without the goddamn mask. But everywhere else, you walk into a fucking Applebee's and it's popping right now.
I mean, that's your own fault for walking into an Applebee's.
Oh no, I'm just saying like motherfuckers
on a good day.
Motherfuckers are risking it for wild shit like Applebee's. But it's like, man, I'm so happy I can be out here with a mask off now. We want to go to our friendly neighborhood Applebee's and get a fucking $1 margarita and a rodeo burger.
I'm not mad. I was thinking about the Red Robin bottomless fries.
No, hold on. Ain't nobody say nothing bad about Red Robin. Red Robin's fine.
You're right.
Applebee's not fine.
Shouts to my girl. She checked me. I thought, I guess when like somebody's like singing song lyrics and usually they don't say the right thing, so people just let them slide. Yeah. And they're like, oh, okay, whatever. And then there's some people that are like, wait, did you say it's that? Nah, it's this.
Nah, I definitely gotta correct you. I'm gonna laugh too. So
yeah, well, I was like Red Robin. And she's like, nah, that's like. She's like, that's Campbell's soup or whatever. Yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, that is it. I was like, yum. She's like, wait, you thought it was I was like, nah, I know it was yum, but I thought it was like maybe the long M could be abbreviated, like the slang for yum.
Mm-hmm. I think you just got.
I think that's what is, right?
I think you just got your wires crossed. I don't know what the is. Or maybe it's like good. Is that what it is?
Ba-da-ba-ba.
That's how I'm loving it, bro.
I know, but it's like Oreos. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Oreos?
I'm saying, what if you could just mix jingles? That'd be dope.
Okay. I don't even know what the Oreo jingle is, so you got me on that one.
Wiz and his son had it, remember?
I don't even. Now I'm like.
Smoke weed and eat Oreos.
I know we were on like 40 tangents that started off of mass shooting.
My bad.
Off of mass shooting, which isn't great, but I was about to say, I can't even think of what jingle would come to me. Like, somebody say, name a jingle. I'd be like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. What was it?
Jingle bells.
That's not a jingle, though.
Learner in a row is the way to go.
Yeah.
Call 977-1900.
You remember Celino and Barnes?
Yeah.
Celino and Barnes, injury attorneys.
Check.
Call 1-4-20-20. Oh, that's just a New York thing.
Though. Oh, yeah, sure.
And then then they broke up, and it was the Barnes firm and shit. But I think one of them died. R.I.P. Rip.
Celino and Barnes. Anyway, man.
But yeah, no.
Speaking of, Biz Markie, rest in peace. We lost him too. Which Mandela effect? I'm not gonna lie, I thought he passed a couple months ago.
I think I asked that about somebody else.
Not great.
Well, there was like a couple weeks ago, maybe a week or two ago. There was a report that he had died, but then he was still just like on life support. And then he was tweeting, and I don't know if it was him tweeting or somebody tweeting for him. And then obviously he passed like this week, and so it was kind of like I thought he was dead, and then he was alive, and then he wasn't. Which is again why I don't know why these places want to be like the first to report that somebody died. Like you know what I mean? That's how sickening our capitalist society is. That like the newspapers like we have to report this first because if we report it first, we get the most clicks. We get the most clicks. I mean, we get the most views, and we get the most views. We get the most ad dollars, and we make the most money. And it's like, but just lost in that is that somebody fucking died, and like or somebody is on life support and their family's struggling. And now they got to deal with the fact that you misreported that they died. You know what I'm saying? And it's just.
Or it's the lizard people running the media.
Yeah, it's just a lot.
And the space lizards and the fucking space fire. Anyway.
Right. It's just gross. But shout out to Biz Markie. R.I.P. He was more than just, the Just a Friend song. Like he was producing shit, a lot of stuff. And he's obviously was around in the music industry, So, I mean, obviously, it sucks when you lose another hip hop legend. So it's been every year it happens. Obviously, inevitably it's life and shit. But, obviously,
so
condolences.
To boomerang this tangent, Ty was upset about the Suns losing basketball earlier in the week, yesterday actually, in a very intense game for those that are not familiar. But other than that, man, how was your? Did you have anything Friday? We both did. We could get to a movie review.
Yeah,
now.
We were supposed to link up, but somebody had a dog sit over here.
Somebody had to have a kid.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, we're gonna link up and watch Space Jam, but like, the plans didn't align and whatnot, and so we both caught it, and I feel like I guess we were both surprised. I was surprised by the movie, but we can get into it. What was your thoughts on the movie?
I want to go in first. Shouts to me. I'm proud of myself. I went in like standalone mode. I didn't compare it to anything. I didn't like even look to compare it to whatever. I just went in and watched it. And yeah, on its face and for what it was, man, I really enjoyed it. And I said on record, and I feel like I'm vindicated because I liked LeBron James off the court and in movies and stuff. I said he was hilarious in Trainwreck. And I've always said that he's like the perfect corny like pocket for like the older kids and younger parents. Like he's that sandwich, right? And he played that perfect role in this movie. And I thought it came natural, and I was like, wow, like it was good. For the nod to the Looney Tunes, man, they're funny as can be, man. And shouts to my dad. My dad put me on Looney Tunes at a young age, and he would crack up. And they did a great job bringing them back, as we said before, the Looney Tunes not popping. And then the like the little things between the Looney Tunes and the characters, and I thought it was really well done. And the ending, was predictable, and the whole story is predictable and stuff. But I thought it was great. And look at people. I watched YouTube videos and stuff on it, and people pull it apart and stuff. But
that shit is wild to me, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it was a horrible storyline, and obviously it was corny and stuff. But like I said, that's what I wanted, and so yeah, I gave it a 4 out of 5 Bucketheads.
Oh wow, man, we got a full on 80. It's funny. I looked on Rotten Tomatoes, I think after I watched it, and it was like, I think it had a 33% Rotten Tomatoes from critics, which is like, okay, whatever. But the audience score was 83, and so I'm like, even though the internet discourse on it seemed like, I've seen a lot of tweets of people being like, saying it was bad, or like, I saw one person be like, pretty much critiquing people who were saying like, why are you guys like going hard? Like, y'all wanted a fucking kids movie to be Citizen Kane, bro. Like it's a kids movie, and you know what I'm saying? People are like, oh, like, and some dude made like a snarky thing, like, yo, like, yeah, obviously Space Jam 2 is a kids movie. Like every kids movie has references to Casablanca and this and that, and like, older stuff that only like adults get. And I'm like, do y'all think that kids take themselves to the movies? Like, how do y'all think they get there, bro? Like, just they transport there, they're just there, they can just be in that bitch, like, or do parents have to take kids to the movies, like, and have to watch and sit through that shit? And like,
they be dropping them off sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes, but most of the time they gotta fucking take them. So, and somebody has to be there with them kids. But yeah, so in every kids movie, there's something for adults to like, you know what I'm saying, to get. There's references that only adults are gonna get. So I don't even understand what people were saying with that. But yeah, no, I watched it. Obviously, my expectations were super low because I'm like, yeah, Space Jam. And full disclosure, I don't think the original Space Jam is good. I liked it when I was a kid, but I also like Cats versus Dogs when I was a kid, and fucking Baby Geniuses. Like, I don't think those movies are good movies. You know what I mean?
Nah.
You know what I mean? I like fucking Homer.
There's things I can compare. I can say the soundtrack for the first one was really good.
Oh yeah,
like, a lot of good artists.
But it's hard to be like, oh man, I love that soundtrack, because it's like R. Kelly fucking everywhere. Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
If you get past I Believe I Can Fly, we got like I said, we got Jay-Z on there.
Yeah.
We got Salt and Pepper.
We got all the jock jams.
Basketball Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Chris Rock doing the voiceovers. Jay-Z was voiceover Bugs Bunny.
Mm-hmm.
Man. You had who hit him high? Who
that was great. Was that
Busta Rhymes?
Was it Busta Rhymes? And wasn't Onyx on that too?
Yeah, and anyway, so
Hit 'em High was so fire, bro.
I'm not gonna lie. Also, though, bro, tell me why this movie had me shimmy shaking, son. The Uzi song.
Oh yeah, the Uzi
Space
one
Jam song.
And
that was fire.
And the Kirk Franklin and Lil Baby one is amazing. I don't know why that's so good. It has no business being as good as that is. But again, so yeah, the first one to me, like I watched it as an adult and I was like, oh, this is actually like terrible. And so I'm watching this and I'm like, if I'm being real, like obviously, you know, I don't know what kid if I could take the kid version of me and watch both of them back to back, I don't know what that person would say. But as an adult, I like watching both movies. I would probably enjoy the new one more than I enjoyed the old one. Like if I watch both of those motherfuckers back to back, but I don't know what that's worth. You know what I'm saying? But either way, I think a kid's gonna watch it and enjoy it. It's like all they care about is seeing cool shit, and the cool shit is you see LeBron and you see fucking I think they did really a good job with like how they incorporate the other NBA players in there. I thought the Dame time thing was like great, and then like obviously Granny going up against him was hilarious, and like there's a bunch of great jokes in there. The Michael Jordan joke in there was funny. I don't want to spoil the joke for people, but like, you know, that one was
bro. That when he said, it's just like the visuals too. Like if you notice, like I can't even laugh without saying Wile E. Coyote the whole time. He's just grilling the Roadrunner.
Yeah.
Because usually he's chasing it, right? But they have to be obedient.
Yeah,
so he's just
right. Like we on the same
you lucky,
team.
son.
Yeah, wasn't out here, but yeah. So I'm, you know, I don't know if I would go as high as 4 out of 5 bucket hats, but I give him a solid like 3.5 bucket hats. Like I feel like it was cool. It was a cool movie. Like there was nothing wrong with it. I know, you know, it's LeBron in it, and you gotta, you know, there's a section of the internet, you know, who just hate LeBron for whatever, and like, you know, there's people who, you know, have legitimate criticisms of him, which I think you probably lean more like that, Jesse. And I you know, I say the same thing. Like, you know, he's sometimes corny. Like the stuff he does about teammates and shit is like corny. You know what I mean? And there's other aspects of stuff that I don't like, but also I like him as a basketball player. I like most of the things he stands for. But
I like him social stuff. Social justice.
I know there's stuff about China that he could have, like, you know, he lacked on that he could have been better on. But like also he didn't want to fuck up his money, and it's like I know most people is like I would speak up about shit that happens at my job, but I'm not about to do it to where I get fucking fired. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you know, there's shit like that. Damn, I forgot where I was going with. I had an endpoint to this. That and people also hate like the people on the right like hate LeBron for. I don't even know at this point. I don't know what he did. Yeah. I don't know what he said that they didn't like at some point, but like he's like controversial, I guess. You know, my old job, we posted a GIF of LeBron doing something, and a lot of people, because it's a car, it was social media for a car dealership, so there's a lot of people like, oh, why'd you put this unpatriotic? Blah blah blah. I'm gonna type all these words out of saying why I don't like them instead of saying the N word, which is what I really want to say. Right. So you know what I mean. It was kind of like that. They were treating him like he was Kaepernick. It was like he's not Kaepernick. But yeah. So you know, I know that's why there's a lot of like weird discourse on the internet about this movie. Who the hell knows why? But people, one, just ignore those people. And two, it's a goddamn kids movie. I think at this point we've gotten too into like critiquing shit. Like I think we've gone too far with. I know we do like reviews every week, but I don't think we take our shit serious, right? But you know, I feel like everybody needs every movie to be fucking some amazing like crazy thing that like, you know, is tied into like something, and like, you know, it's like it's fucking Scorsese, and it's like no. Not everything needs to be Scorsese. We should be able to go and watch a Space Jam and enjoy yourself, and admit, and we can all say like, no, obviously that's not fucking The Godfather, bro. But you can enjoy yourself watching that shit, or like, you know what I'm saying, a Marvel movie doesn't like there's superhero movies. They don't have to be fucking Scorsese flicks. Motherfucker just like people with superpowers. Like that's it. That's all it has to be. You know what I'm saying? And then so. I mean, not to cut you off, but like as a kid, when you're a kid watching the first one, at least for me, being a Knicks fan and watching Jordan kill the Knicks throughout my childhood, seeing
him actually suck at baseball and watching that in live, I thought it was like there was like sort of a documentary feature to this
because like you heard in person that he was playing baseball, so you see him sucking at baseball and they're like doing a joke on it. Was like that was a good part of the movie. Yeah,
exactly. So then there was some sort of authenticity because Jordan did leave basketball, then he came back to basketball, and that's what that movie kind of circled around. And there was emotions tied to that. Going into this Space Jam, I think there was more of just a direct push that it is a movie because there's no story of LeBron leaving basketball. There's really no issue with his kids having issues with playing basketball as they all are really good at basketball.
Yeah, I don't know if
there's not.
I don't know if
Bryce?
I don't know if Bryce plays. I think he does play, but
he
I don't.
Does. He has that viral or whatever. He has that viral video of him coaching them and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And he's still going to the layup line. And LeBron's still dunking the layup lines and stuff.
Oh,
and they're still like upset about it.
True.
Yeah. And people are like, "Yo, what if I was dunking at my son's layup line?" Like, you can't dunk. Shut up.
And also, you're not LeBron, bro. Like, I think.
Yeah, I know. It'd be amazing if I was a kid
and I saw LeBron dunking, and it's like any NBA player. Like, you know what I'm saying?
If I'm playing hockey and Ovechkin skates by me,
I'm not gonna be mad.
Bro?
Like, wow, he's not a regular.
It's my ice time.
Like, I'm sorry. Like this thing where people try to act like everybody's the same. Like we are, but we aren't, bro. Like.
Yeah, not in that realm. Like not in basketball. Like, I'm not the same as LeBron.
If you came, I mean, even then, if a random dad could like dunk like LeBron, and he was like he got on the layup line and he dunked like LeBron, like the kids would be like, "Oh, that's crazy!" Like they wouldn't be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But if you just a regular like smo ass dad and you're out there trying to fucking do reverse layups and like breaking them shit in the layup line, they're gonna be like, "Yeah, you like a fucking clown." Yeah,
you keep fucking up. He's hitting them with the one more. He's rubbing his elbows.
He's like oh, bro, that shit's slippery, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah.
Yo, it's the sneakers back in my day.
Exactly. Like
I had moon boots.
Exactly. Like the people, you can't. But like my original point though is like we've gone too far with the critique, and people get serious. It's funny, like. And an album drop, and it's like the whitest person in the world is like doing critiques. It's like 21 Savage new album doesn't have
not good enough for me.
Like it doesn't have the same depths and multitudes of his last album. It's a knife. It's like, come on, what? like dog. Like you know what I'm saying? That's why I don't really listen to no shots to like Fantano because I know that's like his lane, but like. You know what I'm saying? The dudes, there's so many people who are like hyper criticalizing everything.
Yeah.
And it's like, we all can't be Roger Ebert. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Ebert said a lot of shit was garbage that I fucking love. So I don't really care. You know what I mean?
So the goal also, like, going back to like right and wrong or goals and approaches, like the goal of this movie, of both Space Jams, were to get the kids into the Looney Tunes and into the
It's
mix,
a commercial. The whole thing. The first one was a commercial. This one's a commercial. It's all commercial.
And this one, they did enough to emotionally tie the kids and be like, oh, well, I can relate to a kid and their parents are too pushy. And then the parents are like, I can relate to my fucking kid not listening to me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So, like, they go and watch the shit, so it was good, man. It was funny, good soundtrack. Looney Tunes are funny, man. Rest in peace to Mel Blancs, who does the voice. I don't know how they got somebody to sound eerily close.
I will say at one point, because I was watching with Trav, the producer Trav, shouts to him. He was saying like that. I think at one point he could. It was very close, but it was like, you know what I'm saying. Obviously, there's no way to do it exactly the same. And so Trav was like, that was the one. It was some part of the movie. I don't remember which part, but he was like, that's the one part where I'm like. I wish it was the original voices, and I'm like, oh damn!
But there's gonna be a time like that when that happens for fucking Bart Simpson. The lady that does his voice is gonna die. Like it's sad stuff. You know,
if Hank Azaria died, bro, the Simpsons are done, right? He does like 80% of the voices. So like, I'm with you. But yeah, nah. Space Jam was cool. But nah, anybody saying wild movie. Shit is, it's just. Come on, man. It is what it is.
And I also, I like the message, man, and I thought it was good, and it had me laugh outwardly like more than 5 times. So
I laughed a lot.
It was a good movie, and my kids loved it. So I don't got any.
Your dog.
I don't got any.
Your dog was chilling, watching
Yeah, and you know who my favorite Looney Tune is?
Granny?
Marvin the Martian.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Nah, he's funny as fuck, bro, because he doesn't really fuck with them because he's in between Earth and fucking, well, he's from Mars, I guess.
Yeah.
And that's just his funniest shit, bro. He's just always like, they're like, what up? He's like, and he's like saying that weird ass sound, and he's just like not approving it. So yeah, shouts to them. Yeah, good movie, man. They made a good. LeBron made jokes at his own expense, which I thought was funny.
Had to, and had to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that I don't know if you watch anything else. I don't know if I watched anything. I was gonna watch A Quiet Place 2 before we hopped on here, but did not. I was running around literally all day, and so I did not get a chance to.
I will say, shouts to Vice. I watched. They have a new docuseries called the trash of the 90s or something, and it was like all of the 90s talk shows like Sally, Jesse, Raphael, and Ricki Lake, and Jenny Jones, Jerry Springer, and all that shit. There was 12 talk shows at one time competing for the number one spot.
Really?
Isn't that crazy?
One time? At what point in time?
Like the early 2000s, late 90s.
Damn, that was like the golden age. Now it's like nobody cares, man.
Daytime talk show. No, but you know what's funny or not funny, actually. Let me rephrase that. What was unique was there was an episode on Jenny Jones that never aired. It was filmed but never aired. Was this guy who's been who was gay that had a crush on this guy but never told him. Waited to tell him on Jenny Jones' show, and the guy ended up killing him for embarrassing him. And the show had to pay out $25 million to the victim's family.
That's great. Where is Jenny Jones? I haven't seen. Where the fuck is she?
Right, in this documentary. So that's the part when they all separated, and that's when Oprah kind of shifted, and she was doing that trash TV too. But then she's like, "All right, I'm out. I'm gonna start getting the bag and interviewing celebrities," and she did that, and that's when her show became like the Oprah show. Yeah. And then Jerry Springer was like, "All right, well, I'm gonna double down and just go twice as wild."
Yeah, he was like
going away from it.
Now he's a judge. What's going on?
Son, they had an episode which I was like, "Yo, I forgot this episode." They were like, they had the Siamese twins, and there were the people that were attached at like the eyeball. So they were like, interviewing them, and they're like, this wasn't enough, and they had them perform like country music. What? It was like, bruh, it was just wild. And so like they were singing and like it was wild.
Jerry Springer was insane. The craziest thing about Jerry Springer is that like they showed that shit in the morning. Like, why was Jerry Springer not a late night like show?
9 a.m. and 11 a.m. And the reason I know that, and it's funny that you bringing that up, was I used to base faking sick at school on if I could go home in time to catch Jerry Springer.
Yeah. Like,
if it was 11, I was like, fuck it, I might as well stay in school. If it was like 9, I was like, I have a shot to catch the, Yeah. And they never reran. There were two new different episodes.
Yeah.
So
they never show reruns. You think somebody has like every episode of Jerry Springer and they just like on DVD
the
somewhere
VHS?
Or somewhere?
Yeah, the uncensored.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Where it was like the boobs and like the cursing.
I forgot how
stuff.
wild that was. It's so crazy because I feel like watching that when I was like younger, which is like obviously a wild thing. It was like it was kind of like that shit felt foreign to me. You know what I mean? It's like I know there's some crazy. I live in the hood, so I know there's some crazy people in the world, but it felt like those people were like playing it up. You know what I mean? It was like obviously this isn't real, right? You know what I'm saying? But like now that I'm older, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm sure they can find those people so fucking easily.
Bruh. And especially there was no social media or cell phone, picture phones or anything, or camera phones. So the idea of like pulling the stuff, the topics of these shows were so easily real because like it was like, oh, like Steve doesn't know I'm secretly a guy because it's like, he doesn't follow me on Instagram and can see all my pictures and leads to his own conclusion. He goes off of the fucking one call we've had or whatever it is.
Right.
And the episodes are like, remember that time I asked you if you'd ever kiss a guy? And they're like, yeah. He's like, well, you did. And the crowd's like, ah.
Oh, man. Yeah, that was a wild time, bro. That obviously can't go down right now. And like all the like, it's just people cheating on each other. It's like I slept with your brother, and it's like what? And it's like, why would you tell me that on fucking TV? Like, you know what I mean? It's just.
I watched one of the episodes was like my son thinks he's a Nazi, so
What?
like they brought like Jewish people on to like try and like meet in the middle, and he was like, she was like, why do you hate me? He's like, I don't fucking know you. I was like, he's not wrong. Like I don't fucking.
Well,
like that one.
That kind of goes against his argument though. It's like, you know, why? Okay, you don't know us. Why are you hating? You know what I mean?
He was like, he's like, you Jews call me non-Jews. We're like, well, you're not Jewish, so that's
I'm not
call you that.
I'm not a heaven or hell really. I don't, I'm not super duper religious person, but like the showrunners of Jerry Springer not making heaven, bro. They're not. It's a fact. They're not seeing it. They're not sniffing it at all.
Oh yeah. So they talk. So tangent on this show. They talk about the trash behind these shows.
Oh, I'm sure it was. I'm pretty people got mental health problems now. Like
no, you know how like people work on things and they're like, oh, I feel bad because like I had to like work for a shitty sales company. Dude, they said that like the producers had to like when somebody was like in their worst. Like at their worst, you had to like make it worse.
Yeah.
Like when people were like, "Can I have a towel? My eyes hurt." They're like, "No," and it would like splash water in their face and shit.
Or like hand them like a thing and it got like lemon juice in it, like just to make it work.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's not. You're not seeing. I don't think any producers on any reality show is seeing.
Because you know what the motto was, which I've actually heard in talk show before, or in any, I guess, production, is bring them here in a limo, send them home in a cab.
Yeah,
because it's like it's a facade of like how valuable you are, but then once they got
the content, it's like we already got what we want, bro.
You're out.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's on Vice. It's interesting to say the least. For me, it's good smack television.
That's funny because I'm like I know Jerry Springer's a judge now. It is like Judge, which is hilarious. Judge Jerry, like, what the fuck is going? And it's like the Judge shows were like the lighter versions of those shows. But I'm like, where the fuck is Jenny Jones? I ain't seen her in years. Where the fuck is Ricki Lake? Like, where are these people?
Oh, she actually got a condition of like hair loss and became like a spokesman of like hair loss for women and stuff.
Oh, wow.
So shouts to her. So yeah, she's doing like podcasts and similar like content and stuff like that.
It's like it's like usually you see people out in the wild, you know what I mean? Like you see
Sally Jesse Raphael. I remember her.
Mm-hmm.
I remember
Montel, where he at? What his bald ass doing? You know what I mean?
Maury,
what? Yeah, like what are these people doing now? They chilling. Like usually you see these people in the wild, something. You know what I'm saying? Like out of nowhere, you pops up. Like what I saw like a random TikTok of the Judge Jerry thing. You know what I'm saying?
I saw, those episodes where it was like, crazy murderers. Like this guy cut like a girl up and put her in a freezer, and
that's so wild.
He's here. It's like, how's he not in jail?
Yeah,
why is he not
like
talk
what?
show?
That don't make no damn sense. Now I'm like, Maury was probably kind of tame because it was just like figuring out who the hell the daddy was. That was it. That was the whole bag. Like I think they did some other stuff, but it was like kind of just all it was DNA tests. You know what I'm saying?
Do you remember? It's like, I have a bad kid, so they brought the boot camp instructors on, and you go back and watch, and like as a kid, you thought these kids are really bad. They did like serial killer shit, and then you watch, you're like, this kid cuts class. I'm like, oh, I did the same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
even go to
this
class.
Kid steals bubble gum from the deli. I'm like, oh shit, is this me? Like,
damn, they should have had you there, bro. Get yelled at by the drill sergeant. Which is like, why would that ever work? It's like the kids aren't going to the military. So like,
there was one there that got really sad. They're just like, why do you act out? He's like, because I miss my dad. He's like, I don't want to yell at you no more.
Yeah, they wasn't really prepared for this. Usually
he looked at Ricki Lake like the fuck.
Usually they say something snippy back and then I yell in their face more and then they shut up like, or
they do like a week turnaround. They're like, so a week ago you were cutting class, so we sent Jimmy back to class to find out what happens, and then like it's like, fuck that class, I told you I hated it. It's like, well, so Jimmy didn't learn.
Yeah, like obviously.
So yeah. So shouts to that doc. That's another thing I watched. Only one episode in. And then I did watch I'm not gonna give it a review, but Loyal to the Soil Power, a new season, Power Book 3. It's bad. But I'm loyal to the soil. So here we are. So yeah, those are my reviews.
They were just bad. That's all. It's just a quick joint. It just wasn't good.
Yeah. And then if you want to get a food review real quick, I will say shouts to a restaurant that I went to. I want to bring you there, bro. Now that you live close and shit, or I live close. It's called Crazy Cajun House. It's one of those seafood boil places.
Oh, okay.
And oh my god, so I think it's better than Hot and Juicy now. I think it's my new favorite.
I'm not a Hot and Juicy person. I'm an angry crab person, so I don't.
I know, but I don't think you said you haven't been to Hot and Juicy.
You know what? Maybe I haven't. I think somebody told me. I know you like Hot and Juicy, but somebody else told me they don't fuck with Hot and Juicy, so I haven't really. Okay, well, I wasn't like had it.
This place is dank, man. So shouts to them. You know, they made really good service. They just opened up a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. They gave me. I had a beer, bro. Stepping out the fancy. I drank a beer, a whole ass beer. Wow. The Suns game was on, so they're like, "Yo, first beer's on us." So they gave me a free beer. I was like, "Why not? Drink the shit."
Okay.
But yeah, dude, their spice levels are fire. I got the mix all flavor. I got
the garlic.
Mussels. Yeah, I got mussels, crab legs, and then I got shrimp because I was extra hungry.
They got the fixings. They got cornbread. They got all that shit.
Yeah, then they had the corn, they had the potatoes, they had broccoli you can add in the bag, noodles you can add to the bag.
That's wild.
Yeah, dude, it was fire, man. Really, I'd say 10 out of 10.
Okay.
9.5 out of 10. Yeah, I want to take
I'm always going to try a seafood spot, so that's what's up.
It's so good. And they have like hibachi, but I didn't try the hibachi because I was full, but nah, man.
Hibachi is random.
It's really good.
That's the random thing to throw in there, but okay.
But yeah, no, so it was good, man. Really good. So shouts to that. Shouts to Yummy in my tummy, bro.
Like I don't think I have any other reviews. We don't have any other like big things to talk about. Space Jam was kind of like the main one, so we can, I know we want to do a shorter pod anyway. So I think we've arrived. Songs of the week, bro. What's your song of the week?
Damn, I actually coming across a couple ones. I think I didn't get a chance to listen to the Pop Smoke album.
I didn't either, bro. And I feel bad because I kind of forgot about it, and I listened to other albums, I'll add it to my playlist and everything, and I just forgot to listen to it. But also, I'm like, it's also kind of gross that a second Pop Smoke album after he died. Like, I know I want like his family to be well off, so I get that, but it's like these labels kind of just be milking like these dead artists, man. I'm not really kind of with that. You know what I mean?
I don't know what's in his contract though. It could be within, I'm sure there's shit that they sign that if anything happens to you, like, can we release your music?
Man,
like,
I think
you don't know what sign this. I don't know what happens, bro. That's between them. But I'm still gonna rep his music, just because why not? So this is kind of funny though. Like, I took the L because I still don't have Spotify. So I stayed up midnight waiting for it to drop, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna bump this shit. Hey. And then I was like, oh, I don't got it. So, but yeah, so no, so I'll keep it with Polo G, just because I've been rocking his shit. If you guys keep up on my Instagram, I've been putting a new picture of Emmy to a different Polo G song like every day, and my brother-in-law thinks it's funny, so he just keeps sending me pictures and stuff. So, we're gonna go with I Know.
Okay.
Off his album Hall of Fame. He's got a good line. He said, I know life is a bitch and she don't fight fair. So
there you go.
Shouts to I Know Polo G.
All right, yeah, you know how I usually do. Bangs, bops, and slaps. I know there's a shit ton of albums I dropped the last couple of weeks, but this week my song that bangs, I'm going with One of the Ones by Blxst and Bino. I know I've been repping and saying Blxst, one of my favorite artists that I had happened upon last year, and he already did a project with Bino. I don't know, Bino Rideaux, I think is his name. And it was 6 tape. They came out with 6 tape 2. The whole thing is fire, but One of the Ones is my favorite one off of that joint. Definitely check that shit out. And then my song that slaps, I'm going with Remble by Drake and featuring Drakeo the Ruler, Ruth Chris freestyle. LA dude, it's funny because I feel like his rap sound like he's just talking, but it's kind of hard. It's like that's how LA dudes be kind of, if you're rolling with it, but it's like, and he hates motherfuckers who rock True Religion for some reason. I don't know why. Uh, but he got the one song. He got the song. He's like, "Do you really feel fly in true religion? Are you ready to die for those Christians?" Like, but he's like talking, but it's like, he kind of barring us up while he's doing it. So yeah, check out his whole album. It's called it's Remble. So you can check that shit out if you fuck with kind of like the LA rap scene type shit. And then my song that bops, I'm gonna go. There's a lot of shit to pick from, but I'm gonna go with I think I'm gonna go with "Make You Feel Good" by BJ the Chicago Kid and Lucky Day. I'm a big Lucky Day fan, and also, BJ the Chicago Kid is good. So like, check out "Make You Feel Good." It's pretty good. And other shit that I listen to the Willow like rock album for some reason. I don't have a reason why. But she got a song on there with Tierra Whack called "Extra" that I like. Super duper fucking random. I think there was another album too that I'm missing. Any clue what came out this week? No clue other than Pop Smoke. Oh no, that was it. Yeah, I gotta listen to that though. Get into it. But
I thought someone dropped a mixtape or something. But yeah, now Pop Smoke's album called Faith, adding to his Live Laugh Love.
Yeah, they gave him some bad titles.
But he was about his Instagram stories were always like, "Yo, it's Pop Smoke, shoot for the moon."
Yeah, it was aim for the moon. It was like shoot for the stars, land on the moon, aim for the moon, or something like that. Yeah, that was the other one. And I like that album, by the way. But that one felt like he was more developing that, and so like I was kind of okay with them dropping that posthumous. Obviously,
he's got a song with Quavo, or no, Sway Lee. That's what it is. Sway Lee and TJ that you were talking about. Yeah, actually pretty good.
So I'll check it out. I know like the thing with the posthumous thing is like, when is it too much? Like I know with Juice WRLD, they're talking about doing 3 more, and it's like 3 more albums. Like that's kind of crazy to me. You know what I mean?
His friend, I'm a Juice WRLD fan. His friend was talking about how like
he recorded all the time.
I'm also a fan of but I'm also a fan of the media. So this idea that he was saying that they misconstrued the story that he was hiding the pills from the feds or whatever. Mm-hmm. But in reality, he had a big addiction issue. Yeah. And he just ate those pills. He didn't really hide those stuff. He's like, he had money to get out of the situation. So it's not like he was genuinely panicked afraid of the, he just wanted an excuse to take him or whatever. So who knows about his music too? That could be another thing. Maybe, because he rapped about that stuff a lot and sang about, so it's like, who knows? Maybe
I don't know.
He planned it. But, who knows? But yeah, a lot of music. I do want to hear the Pop Smoke album though.
I'll have a review for it next week once I tap down into. I don't know what's dropping. There's always something that drops every week, so I don't even know who's dropping this week. But I'll definitely check that out. I know it was like the other jump that dropped was Normani and Cardi B with the song that was like an Aaliyah sample. It was pretty good. It's whatever. If you like pop music, go ahead. But yeah, those are the songs of the week, my guy.
Word. But shouts to that, man. Shouts to you always dropping the music knowledge on me. Shouts to you for putting up with me week in, week out. Somebody's got to do it. For the buckets, man, that are new to the program, you know what I'm saying? We got some socials that we want to, unravel for you. Ty, for the buckets that already been rocking with us, they know where we at. But for those new buckets, where can they find us?
Yeah, man. I'm not sure if you're listening to us on right now. Probably on SoundCloud because that's our main squeeze. But we're also on Apple Podcasts for the iPhone homies. Make sure you subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. Like us, review that shit. Leave 5 stars. If you don't leave 5 stars, what the hell's the point?
Step away from the computer.
Yeah, you can say something nice. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Bro, if you give us 3 stars, I'm finding you.
We should,
and we're gonna talk about those other 2 stars.
We should read off our reviews on the pod. So if you do a nice review of us, we'll read off your review on the pod.
And you know what? Hey, I got. Again, I'm on a kick with the gumballs. Maybe we gotta do another round of rank 'em.
Oh, and we can
do with the Big League Chew.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? Summer edition. Maybe some summer flavors like smoothies or I don't fucking know. We'll figure it out.
Figure that out. But we could definitely figure that out. And then and then we're also on Stitcher. We're on Google Play, but also we're on Spotify. So like you don't even have to dip from your playlist. You don't have to dip from, you're already listening to music. You just, head over to podcast in the app. You can find us, like us on there. That way, every time we drop a pod, that shit is right in your feed and you don't have to worry about whether or not, you can get to it. And then also, if you want to chop it up with us, interact with the show, make sure you follow us on like the social medias. Like we highlighted in the beginning of the podcast, but we're on, Facebook. We're just, the Bucket Up Podcast. On Instagram, we're at the Bucket Hat Boys. And then on Twitter, we're at Bucket Up Podcast. And then you can follow us individually. The homie Jess is at JB Speaks, and I am at Tailante, aka Meaty Pablo. I can't think of another. I used to change up my names every month, but like I literally can't think of something better than Meaty Pablo. Like I can't. I've been trying. I'm like, I think of something, and I'm like, that's cool. But do
you always want to go the chunky pun, or do you want to go like you lost some weight pun? Because I could come up with some of those.
Nah, yeah, I like, because I'm still chunky. So, but like, it don't have to be like, it could just be fire. But again, like I have some non-chunky ones, but they're just nothing I looked at was like, this is obviously better than Meaty Pablo, or at least on like even if it was like on the same level, I would feel compelled to change it, but I haven't. I don't know if I'm in like a creative rut right now, and I just can't think of it right now.
You got writer's block?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but I just I'm gonna figure it out. Obviously, maybe next month I'll have something. If the Suns lose, maybe it'll just be about pain and depression. Who knows? But that's follow us on there if you want to chop it up with us, interact, talk about the show, argue with us about things we said on the show, all that good shit. And then also, I know we got sponsors and shit, right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Sunday Scaries. Some technical difficulties trying to have them on the pod, but we'll get to that, eventually have them on. But yeah, no, Sunday Scaries, man, they're awesome with CBD and, gummies, FOMO bones for your dogs. I know when I leave the house, I hate thinking about my dog missing me, and I don't want the dog to think about missing me, so the bones help with that. And then also I don't leave the house, so that's also a solution. But beyond that, the gummies, the oils, the tinctures, man, they help with, my hands don't sweat. You know what I'm saying? They help with social anxiety, driving, living, social, whatever. Use promo code Bucket Up, bro. You get 25% off, which is really cool. Help yourself, help us, help everyone. And yeah, then also for those that are into material items, use promo code Bucket Up for Vosetti.com, and you can get. Daniel Phillips. Watch Instagram, Daniel Phillips. You can get 30% off using promo code Bucket Up, and then fingers crossed. Again, me and Ty have been working on some things that we can't disclose quite yet, but it's in the atmosphere, it's in the energy, so we want it to be in good positive vibration. So hope all is well with that. And eventually once the curtain is revealed, we can go into more detail. But for now, positive vibes, you know what I'm saying? Vibrate higher. And, I think for the Bucket Hat Boys, for the Bucket Up Podcast, volume 170. Ty, you got anything else for them?
Nah, bro, I think we out.
Yeah, I think we out. Chit.